Prove that they know it. Prove that they don't know Scripture. The enemy knows Scripture. He knows it. So it's not enough just to simply know it. We need to live by it. Then the devil took him into the holy city and placed him on the highest point of the temple. If you are Ben Elohim, the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down, for it is written, he shall command his angels concerning you, and upon their hands they shall lift you up, so that you may not strike your foot against a stone. The enemy quoted Psalms. The enemy quoted David and all those who wrote the Psalms. He knows it, and he used it. The enemy knows Scripture, and he twists it. In the garden, when Eve was at the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the serpent, the enemy, told her, did God really say, you shall surely die? He knows Scripture, and he causes us to doubt God. Those of us who are not grounded and rooted in his word, those of us who don't understand it, those of us who don't meditate on it, those of us who don't study it for ourselves. It's not enough to go to church and listen to the pastor preach. We got to study it for ourselves, because man gets it wrong. Pastors get it wrong. I get it wrong. But God never gets it wrong. God will never get it wrong. His word is true. His word is true. And he's proven it true time and time again. The enemy will use Scripture against you if you don't know Scripture. He'll bring people into your life and cause you to doubt Scripture, lead you astray. This is why Yeshua warns us. This is why Yeshua warns us in Matthew and John. Many will be led astray, even those among the elect. Why? Because they don't know Scripture. They don't understand it. They don't read it for themselves. They take other people's word for it. Study it for yourself. I say this time and time again, because it's not enough for you to listen to me, listen to anyone else on social media, listen to pastors. It's not enough. You have to know it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Understand it for yourself. Go to the Bible yourself and read it. Because the enemy has placed people amongst the Christian community, the believing community, to lead people astray by doctrine that is not taught in Scripture, by things that are not taught in Scripture. The enemy has placed people amongst believing communities to lead people astray by bad doctrine, bad teaching, by taking Scripture out of context. And this is what John warned about in 1 John. This is what Paul warned about in the 1st and 2nd Corinthians. This is what Paul also warned about in 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. People have the enemy has been doing this for a long time. We must be on guard. We must know Scripture. We must hide it in our hearts and memorize it. That when we need to, we can recite it. That we need to, that we will always be able to live it out. That when people see us, they don't see us. When we act, when we live out in the world, and people see us, they don't see us for us. They see Messiah. They see him. Yeshua says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they might see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Yeshua said to him, "Again it is written, you should not put Adonai your God to the test." It's okay to question God. It's okay to ask God. But don't test him. Lord, if you do this, then I'll believe. Lord, if you do this, then I'll do it. No, that's not how that works. Lord, I need you right now. Why are you letting this happen? I need you. I can't do this without you. Again, the devil takes him to a very high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me." How many of us have that thought in their mind? We see all these people. They're rich, they're famous, they're successful. They're not believers. What if I just give in a little so I can get a little more money? What if I compromise right here or right there? What if I just compromise just a little bit right here so I can have a better income? Because I need to provide for my family. I need the money. Or maybe I compromise right here because I need a new car. I want a new job. How many of us have thought about compromising our values to get more on this earth? Yeshua says in Matthew chapter 6, I'm going to turn there right now. Chapter 6, verse 19. "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth or dust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in it or steal. For where your heart